Hello there. The Easter weekend will settle down a little, perhaps music to your ears in comparison to the last few days. Yes, there is going to be more sunshine around and fewer showers, and as a result, it will be a little warmer. But there's more rain to come for some of us by Easter Monday. But low single figures, a touch of frost is likely through Scotland and northeast England, and even some patchy fog. It's worth bearing in mind as well that we are springing into British summertime on Sunday. Yes, we all lose an hour, but the clocks go forward and the daytimes get a little longer.
Skiers in northern Italy had a rather terrifying experience when the lifts they were in were being buffeted by high winds. Now, before we play these pictures and show them to you, I will say nobody was hurt.
Yeah, they're chairlifts at Broil Cervinia in the Alps, an Italian resort, rocked by gusts of wind of more than 60 miles an hour. Quite frightening for those people who were on the chairlifts there. They have a bar to keep them on the lift, but nonetheless, still quite frightening.
Terrifying. The resort had been closed, but at least one of the lifts was occupied to allow the last skiers to leave. I don't think we're going to have anything so petrifying.
No, windy or snowy.
Exactly. Let's hope not. Matt can tell us more. Matt, we're at that time of the morning, aren't we, where people are getting up, looking out the window, thinking it's looking. I mean, it's beautiful here in Salford at the moment. Really, really lovely morning. What are you receiving in terms of that?
That's a beautiful picture behind, isn't it?
You know, we're seeing a lot of optimism for the Easter weekend at the moment with our Weather Watcher pictures. Very good morning to you. Here's one such coming from West Wales at Aberdyfi. A lovely, lovely start. Blue skies. I can spot the tops of some shower clouds out there, but there are not going to be as many of those around as we go through today. Similar blue skies, if not almost cloudless ones, towards the northeast of Scotland in the last hour. This was in Moray. Things will cloud over a little bit here as we go through the day. But one area where it's a bit grey to start your Saturday is parts of East Anglia in the southeast. This is Suffolk. But actually here, it will gradually brighten up through the day. Now, this cloud overhead, it's fairly medium-high base cloud. It's been pushing out of France, and it just could bring the odd spot of rain this morning towards some eastern coast. But overall, we've got a window of quieter weather to start your Saturday compared with what we've had of late. But a frost there across parts of Scotland and northeast England potentially to start tomorrow, which, of course, is the start of British summertime. So be prepared tonight. The clocks will be going forward an hour at 1 a.m. It's just a shame that with tomorrow's weather being largely dry, we have an hour less of it to enjoy.
Now, do you like numbers? Do you like stats?
Go on.
Well, someone who has lots of them in his head rattling around all the time is Matt. And only Matt could...
Stato.
Yeah, only Matt could link Easter and statistics. And I think you've got to throw a chocolate egg statistic in there as well. What you got, morning?
The statistic is I get very few eggs. There you go. That's probably it.
Drip, drip, that's my heart bleeding for you.
Probably not. But yes, my head's full of stats. So I've got to let them out every so often, haven't I? Let's talk about Easter's past, shall we? Because we know Easter can vary in when it falls, anywhere from mid-March through towards mid-April. And that can have a big impact on the extremes we've seen across some recent Easters. Did you know if it falls in March, it's more likely to snow in Easter than it is at Christmas? Our snowiest Easter was back in 2010, not a long time ago, 36 centimetres snow lying in Strathdurn, which is not far from Inverness. Coldest was in 2013, Braemar, minus 12.5 Celsius to start Easter Sunday morning. And back in 2016, Storm Katie brought some pretty ferocious conditions for Easter. 106-mile-an-hour winds recorded on the Isle of Wight. But if you're wondering what the warmest Easter was, we have to cast our eyes back even further. Can you believe 29.4 Celsius? In central London at Camden, actually. In fact, that was recorded. And it's fair to say that will be a long way off what we'll see this weekend. But overall, even though we've seen some pretty extreme Easters, this Easter is looking fairly benign and actually looking a bit of a bright spot compared to some of the weather we've seen recently. Today, tomorrow, a bit more sunshine, fewer showers around, more of you staying dry, so it'll feel a touch warmer than it has done. But be prepared, things will turn wetter from the south as we go through into Monday, and there will be a lot more cloud around, and it will feel a bit cooler. That's
Thanks, Matt.
Do you know what? As you were going through all those statistics, I was like, we want to listen to Matt's statistics, and everyone was like, oh, that was it. Oh, yeah, oh.
There you go.
Honestly, we were fascinated and we learnt stuff, so thank you.
just to show Easters can be quite extreme. We're doing all right this time.
Yes, we'll take it. Thanks, Matt. Matt, we're at that time of the morning, aren't we, where People are getting up, looking out the window, thinking it's looking. I mean, it's beautiful here in Salford at the moment. Really, really lovely morning. What are you receiving in terms of that?
That's a beautiful picture behind, isn't it?
You know, we're seeing a lot of optimism for the Easter weekend at the moment with our Weather Watcher pictures. Very good morning to you. Here's one such coming from West Wales at Aberdyfi. A lovely, lovely start. Blue skies. I can spot the tops of some shower clouds out there, but there are not going to be as many of those around as we go through today. Similar blue skies, if not almost cloudless ones, towards the northeast of Scotland in the last hour. This was in Moray. Things will cloud over a little bit here as we go through the day. But one area where it's a bit grey to start your Saturday is parts of East Anglia in the southeast. This is Suffolk. But actually here, it will gradually brighten up through the day. Now,
Matt, we were talking earlier this week about the Easter getaway. And
yes.
there's always a risk, isn't there? Because lots of people will book in advance and hope, you know, great, a little breakaway. But you can't guarantee the weather.
No, even further afield, not just us here in the UK. And I very good morning. Let's take a look across Europe. This chart just shows temperatures, how they compare to normal. So it's not the absolute temperature chart, but the warmer the colours, the higher above normal temperatures are, the bluer the colours, the below average temperatures can be found. We're under the white, so around average for the time of year. But parts of Eastern Europe, if you're heading off there at the moment, exceptionally warm. Could be record-breaking warmth for March. Temperatures from the Balkans into parts of Central Europe could get to around 25 to 35 degrees in one or two spots. Unbelievable for this stage in the year. But as you can see, Spain and Portugal, it is a different story. Not looking great there this weekend. If you are about to head off on a flight, some very heavy rain around today. Temperatures in Madrid only around 12 degrees. A bit more pleasant, 16 there in Barcelona. That rain spreads its way into parts of France, the Alps with some snow as we go through into Sunday. And then another batch of pretty severe wet weather pushing across Spain and Portugal tomorrow. But do not lose hope, though. If you are heading off here, next week looks a bit drier, and only because our weather will take a little bit of a downturn. They are slightly linked. But for us, because Spain and Portugal getting the rain, it does mean we get a bit of a break for a part of this weekend at least. A bit more sunshine, fewer showers for today and tomorrow, and it will feel a little bit warmer out there as well before things change on Monday.
If you look up in the sky today, you may see something like bubble wrap in the sky. I'm not joking, and Matt is going to explain why. They've got a great name, or, you know, and you may see other things as well, which we can leave to our audience's imagination. But bubble wrap's a good description.
I like that. Yeah, it certainly is. You'll small chance to see them today, but these are the views that some in the northwest of England saw yesterday. Very good morning to you, by the way. They're called Mammatus clouds, these pouches of clouds, and they form underside of thunderstorm clouds, cumulonimbus ones. All caused because the air inside is going up and down quite vigorously. Cold air comes out the bottom and it forms these big pouches, which can look otherworldly, but it just indicates you've got perhaps quite a big storm cloud nearby and things up there you really want to be flying. The air is very turbulent indeed. Now, there's only a small chance of seeing those through today. The risk of thunderstorms is much smaller. And in fact, the chance of seeing any showers today is much smaller than it has been of late, which is great news for the start of Saturday and indeed through into Sunday as well. It's here where tomorrow morning you could wake up to a touch of frost on the grass and on the cars. Great though, isn't it? Frost talking about, and we're talking about British summertime because tonight the clocks go forward an hour. That's your timely reminder that tomorrow's sunset as well will be an hour later. Of course, Easter weekend. Now, we know Easter weekend can vary in its date from one year to the next, but did you know the weather can be quite extreme at Easter as well? I'm going to just take you back in time first of all before we look at what's ahead, because back in 2010 we had our snowiest Easter, 31 centimetres of snow on the ground near Inverness. And did you know when Easter falls in March, it is more likely to snow than it is at Christmas. The coldest though was in 2013, minus 12.5 Celsius to start Easter Sunday morning at Braemar in Aberdeenshire. We had Storm Katie to thank for 106 mile an hour winds at the Isle of Wight in 2016. But if you're wondering when the warmest Easter was, well, we have to go all the way back to 1949, 29.4 Celsius at Camden on the edge of central London. Now, we're going to be a long way off that this weekend, but thankfully going to be a long way off the others. Far from extreme weather this weekend. And just before I go, do not forget, tonight and into tomorrow morning, it's the start of British summertime. At 1 a.m, the clocks go forward an extra hour. And that means for the night shift workers, it's an hour less at work. For those getting up early tomorrow morning, it's an hour less in bed. And of course, if you've got kids or a dog, they'll do whatever they want tomorrow morning. There you go. Naga and Roger, back to you.
So I know that you fit in the second and third category, obviously, because you put your hand up.
Yeah, but I'll be up way before the kid and the dog.
Yeah, but, you know, what was your face like when you were told you were on this shift?
You know what? I didn't realise until earlier this week. The penny finally dropped.
How long have you been doing? I was going to say every year. I did it for years. You're not doing tomorrow. Ben's in tomorrow.
I was down to do tomorrow, and Ben asked me to swap. And I realised
what a result.
I realised there was a clock change. I went, yeah, OK.
Yeah, no problem, Ben. Of course, whatever. I did it for years as well, and I always used to kick myself, just thinking, how did I not spot this? And you, of all people, should know. I spotted it far too late. What are you going to do? Are you going to go to bed earlier, or are you just going to take the pain?
I don't know. I probably won't sleep, though. My alarm's effectively going to go off at 1:45 tomorrow morning. I'm just going to lie there, I think.
And then you'll have that panic of, has your clock reset itself correctly? Or your
and you
phone...
know it will. You just know it will.
I
but
don't.
Your brain
I don't,
will
I don't
going,
trust
no, it won't. It won't.
I just do
so
it.
hopefully I'll be here tomorrow morning.
I'd love to say that at 1:45 or tomorrow morning I'll be thinking of you. I just won't. I just won't. But good luck.
Sleep well.
Take care.
You too. Ta-da.
I'd love to say I'll be up watching him in the morning.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.